Welcome. So today we have a little bit more of an energetic flow. I've got a bolster to start out class. You can also use it to pad your knees, or if you've got knee pad paraphernalia hanging around, you can use that. I've got my Cork Blocks from Pete's Choice that I like to use, and I've also got a strap in case I need some help finding either my feet. You can also use them. We'll be taking hands behind the back with some shoulder binds. So if you like to use a strap for that, either because of shoulder impingement, injuries, surgeries, please modify as you need for your body. So without further ado, I'm going to place my blocks up by the front of the mat, take my bolster to find my seat, and let's find our Sukhasana or easy seat, crisscross applesauce. How are you today? Let's check in. Seat down, legs crossed or bottoms of the feet together. Modify this position if you need to. Sit up nice and tall, hands to the knees. Let that breath go. Take a deep sigh, just let it out. And then close the eyes and check in with your physical presence. Feeling the feet, ankles, knees, hips. Notice your spine, shoulders, right? Are your shoulders hanging up into your ears? Can you let them go? Sit up nice and tall. Nice. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths to open class. Inhaling in. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Let's do that again. Inhale in. Exhale. Make it audible. It feels so good. Inhale. Exhale. Take your right hand to your heart. Bring in an intention for today's practice. And if something is not coming to mind, maybe a gratitude, something that you are grateful for in this moment. Maybe just being able to practice in your jammies at home. Open up the eyes, release the hands. We're gonna come into tabletop. So if you're seated on that bolster, go ahead and remove it. Keep it handy if you're using it for your knees. And come into hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread those fingers wide. Check in with your wrists. Roll around the chest just a little bit. Take a few cat-cows. So inhaling, drop the belly down, take the gaze up. In fact, lift those eyeballs up to your forehead. Exhale, drop into your cat. Really press through the hands, separate the shoulders wide, tuck the tailbone, root through the shins. Inhale, come into your cow. Exhale, back to cat. Take a few more of these, moving through your breath. And if you feel the need to move the body a little bit differently, please listen to your body. One of the best lessons that you can get from yoga is to reconnect that mind-body connection. Sometimes we lose it. We stop listening to what the little signals are from our body. So use this time on your mat to check in, not only with your breath, which is so important. Please don't stop breathing. Take a few more of these, but also, what the body is telling you. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and bring the knees together, curl the toes, shift the hips back, push into the bottoms of the feet, stretch the feet out. If you like to take the hands and flip the fingers to point towards the knees to stretch the forearms out. Just take a moment, modify as you need to. If this is too much, Don't come this deep. Maybe keep the hands forward a little bit, maybe a little less weight on the bottom of the feet, or maybe, sit up on your heels so that your spine stacks back over, and feel that full stretch through the bottom of your feet and every single one of your piggies. I like to reach down because my pinky piggy always likes to not party. And then to release, we're gonna walk forward. Take those hands a little bit forward, more than you would for tabletop. And we're gonna step it out into our first plank. So now that those toes are spread, as you come into plank, take the top of your foot to the top of the mat so that you can press the top of the foot and pull that heel back. Give yourself a little bit of a toe curl stretch. Stretch to the top of your foot a little bit here. Maybe take the entire top of the foot. Play around with it, push back into your first downward facing dog and walk your dog, bending the knees. And then we're gonna walk the feet up towards the center. And as the feet come to the center, just go ahead and keep the knees bent. Push the hips back, come into your ragdoll, hands to opposite elbows. Let the head hang heavy. Breathe. Notice how this feels through the back body. Notice that stretch. Maybe your spine is releasing a little bit of the tension of the day, if there's been a day yet. Or maybe some tension from being in bed, which there shouldn't be. But sometimes just waking up, you feel stiff because you did have a good night's sleep and you didn't move much. Release the hands. Press into the feet. Rise up, take the hands to the thighs, keep rolling up. Let that chin be the last thing to come up off the chest. As the shoulders rise up into your ears, drop the shoulders down, step the feet a little bit wider, and take a little bit of that empty coat sleeves, just letting them plop in windmill from side to side. Just kind of feel a little loosey-goosey, shake it out. I dare you. I know you're smiling. Who can't smile? Because you're remembering back when I was a kid and I'd put my jacket on, I'd take my arms out of my coat sleeves, I'd just let them plop from side to side. Get a little crazy, maybe swing your arms a little bit more. So stepping the feet to the top of the mat, we're gonna go through a classical sun salutation, which involves some low lunges. So if you have your blocks, have them by the sides of the top of your mat. Again, if you find difficulty in bringing the hands to the back and interlacing your fingers, I'd like for you to also have a strap or a towel handy so that you can get that nice little bind behind to open up the chest. Whew. Breathe in, let it go. Find your mountain pose. Heart open, fingers spread wide. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. Exhale, fold. Hinge at the hips, release the hands down. Slide the blocks towards. Inhale, lift to lengthen. Maybe take the hands to the shins or just the fingertips to the tops of the block. Exhale, fold as you release the right foot back behind you. Come into a runner's lunge. Squeeze the inner thighs together, lengthen through the spine. Feel strong in your base. And then release the right knee down to the ground. Uncurl the toes. Keep the hands to the block for a moment here. Feel the spine lengthen, squeeze the inner thighs. Now you can take the blocks and you can bring them up from level 1, which is flat, to level 3, which is tall, and you can keep them underneath your fingers as you lift up through your lunge. So when you lift up through your lunge, you can lean a little bit more of the weight into and stretch to that front hip flexor. If you sit a lot, this might be very tight for you. I like to keep the hands down the first rotation just to check in with how I'm feeling today, because every day has a different story, right? Release the hands back down, dropping the blocks down to level 1. We're gonna curl your back toes under, straighten through that leg, slide the left foot back to the right into our plank pose. Now you can stay in straight leg plank, or you can drop the knees down. We're gonna come all the way down to the mat. So I still have the blocks underneath my hands, and I can hover all the way down and then release. Soften the shoulders, slide the blocks out to the side. Take the hands underneath your shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades, baby cobra. Lift the chest with the strength of the back body, gently pressing the fingertips. Oh, hello, Porter, thank you. Yes, I'm gonna scratch your belly while I'm doing cobra pose. Exhale, release your forehead down. We're gonna slide our hands down by our side for locust A, B, and C. So locust A, the chest is lifting. So you're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together. Really feel that squeeze activate. Lift up the chest and feel the whole back body start to fire up as you lift the chest up, continuing to breathe evenly. You shouldn't be panting and you shouldn't be holding your breath. Exhale, release the chest back down. This time activate the legs, the glutes, which were probably already sort of lifted. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades to lift the chest, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs, and feel the legs and the chest lift. So now you look like a little dolphin jumping out over the waves. Exhale, release. All right, we're gonna take that bind this time. So take the hands behind you or your strap, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together, draw the hands down the back body. Inhale, lift up, hovering, breathing, squeezing everything to get here. So much strength through your back body to lift you up. And exhale, release. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes. You can push up to your plank, or you can keep your knees down, or you can come through table. Wherever you are, ready? Lift it up and push it back to downward facing dog. All right, I'm gonna drop my knees. I'm gonna show you a nice little hack with the blocks. Slide the blocks back into place underneath your hands. Come back into your downward facing dog. This time your right foot is gonna step forward. So pull the right knee into your chest, pull the heel to your butt, round the spine, and then start to shift the weight forward and step your right foot forward underneath you. Runner's lunge on the other side. Drop the left knee down, release the toe. Keep the fingers on the blocks as you set yourself up and feel the strength of your low lunge. You can come back with the hands on level 3 to sit up nice and tall. Maybe release back into that left hip flexor a little bit more. Breathe. Take the blocks back to level 1 flat underneath your hands. Curl your back toes. You're gonna shift your weight and come into forward fold. So if you need to take a few steps to get there, do so. Otherwise, shift, weight, right foot, left foot steps forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift to lengthen, exhale, fold. Lift to rise, press it up. Feel the whole energy through the back body, lifting you up, reaching your arms up over your head. Release your arms down by your sides, mountain pose, Tadasana. All right, let's take that a little bit up to speed, and we're gonna add on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, fingertips to shins, long spine. Exhale, hands to the blocks, right leg steps back. Release the right knee down, uncurl the toes. Hands can stay in blocks, level 3, or this time maybe arms reach up. Open up your heart space, feel a gentle back bend here. Keep pressing through the back leg. Exhale, release the hands back down to the block. Curl the right toes under. Slide it back to plank. You can come and take a modification. We're gonna shift the chest forward, lower the body all the way down to the mat. Squeezing those shoulder blades, slide the blocks out to the sides. Hands come down underneath you, cobra. Inhale. Exhale. Hands slide down by your sides, locust A. Squeeze, inhale, lift your chest, squeeze your back body. Hold it, breathe. 3. You can do it. 2. 1. Exhale, release. We're going to take it through the locust B. So inhale, lift up through the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades, squeeze the back body, the feet lift. 1, 2. You got it. 3. Exhale, release. As you take the hands behind you, notice if you interlace the fingers the same way. See if you can change the interlace off one finger, just to kind of change it up a little bit. Squeeze the hands together, slide the hands down the back of the body, forehead to the center, ready? Inhale, squeeze the shoulders, squeeze the glutes, lift the whole back body up and away. Breathe. 3. You got it. 2. You're so strong. 1. Release. Slide the hands underneath the shoulder blades, curl the toes. You can come up into full plank, knees down plank, or tabletop. Pick your choice. Push it up. Downward facing dog. Release. Knees down. Slide the blocks back. And step that left foot forward. So pull the left knee in. Pull that heel to your butt. Step the left foot up to the block. Release the right knee down. Toes curl under or release. Inhale, arms up if you're coming full low lunge. Feel that stretch to the hip flexor. At the same time, you're powering through that front foot and the back shin. Nice and strong. Core is engaged. Exhale, release the fingertips down towards the blocks. Curl the back toes under. Shift, step it forward. Forward fold. See how straight, like you may need to bend the knees. Like the hamstrings may not like this forward fold. Take a moment here. Feel the belly drawing in towards the thighs. Let the head hang. Breathe. And then bend the knees. Roll it all the way up. Nice. Mountain pose. You've got this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold it forward. Fingertips to the blocks. Right leg is going to step back. We're going to stay in our runner's lunge. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Inhale, come up to crescent. Whoa, hold on. It happens, right? Timber. So from your high lunge, I want you to squeeze your inner thighs together, really straight through that back leg. So your heel is up off of the ground. If you are a weeble wobble, you can step the feet wider. They can be like you're on railroad tracks, right? You can heel toe that front foot a little bit wider or just step back into it. We're gonna twist. So take the right foot forward, or right arm forward, left arm back. Squeeze in that twist. Porter, you're killing me with the belly rubs. Nice twist. And then we're gonna come back up into our high lunge. Release the hands down into runner's lunge. And then from runner's lunge, we're gonna come into this kind of revolved skandasana is what I've heard it called, and I kind of like it. So the right foot's in the back. You're gonna start to drop and turn this right hip towards the ground. So the edge of your right foot is gonna start coming and peeling onto the ground. At the same time, you start to open your chest. I'm gonna turn it around so you can see me. At the same time, it seemed like such a great idea on paper. Right edge of the foot, you're gonna start to turn the chest towards this front leg. And as that chest comes towards the front leg, you can drop the back hip down. So you're in this nice little revolved side lunge. You can reach that left arm up to the ground or up to the sky. I'm telling you, it's the solar eclipse yesterday. Mercury's in retrograde. And then you're gonna come and you're gonna pivot back out of that. Coming back up into your runner's lunge. So in your runner's lunge, you're gonna simply step the right foot back up to the left. Keep the knees bent. Rise up for chair pose. Sit the hips back, wiggle your toes, and inhale, reach up. Take a nice little back bend. We're gonna flow through to the other side. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, lift to lengthen. Exhale, hands to the block, left foot slides back this time. Runner's lunge, rise up, come into your crescent. Back leg is nice and strong. Left hand comes forward, right arm reaches back. Hello, how are you today? Squeeze the inner thighs together, make it nice and strong. And then we're gonna come back into our high lunge. Release the hands down to the blocks and prepare for that revolved skandasana. If you've got a better name for it, you let me know. Pivot on the back toes to drop the edge of the left foot onto the mat. Right foot comes out at that 45 degree. You're gonna press that right hip open, reaching the right arm up to the sky. Ooh, hello, IT band. And come back to your runner's lunge. Your right hand finds that block. You find the high lunge or the runner's lunge, and then step left foot forward to right. Keep the hips down. Chair pose. Press to rise. Release. All right, you ready? Let's start adding a little bit of balancing here. Chair pose. Sit it back. Shift the weight into the left foot. Your right foot is gonna lift up. Kick yourself into your own buttocks. Step the right foot back into high lunge. Nice, let's take that twist. Exhale, release the hands down to the block. Drop your right heel down, pivot, squeeze. Left arm opens up to the sky. Come back to runner's lunge, twisting, coming back up onto the ball of the back foot. From here, you're gonna rise back up, come into your high lunge. Open up, warrior three. Reverse, take the left hand up towards the sky, right hand down to the back leg. Inhale, warrior two. Did I say warrior three? That's because that's coming. You're gonna come back, cartwheel the hands, come back into your runner's lunge. Now, some people find that having to lift up into warrior three is a little bit more difficult, but I wanted to come down so you can come get your blocks. Bring those blocks to level three, so they're high. And then start to shift the weight forward into that left leg and start to feel the toes lift off the mat for warrior three. So you may find that just lifting and dynamically moving is a challenge, and that's perfect. We've got to start because, I mean, come on, even with this, right? That's some work. Maybe you find yourself able to stay on the left leg and extend the right leg behind you as though you're kicking a wall. So you're not leaning forward onto your toes. You're really distributing the weight through the left foot. Flat back. You can even keep your right hand down on your block like it's your additional leg. You can take that block on your left side and place it on your hips. And you'll find that you probably were opened up a little bit. I was. And maybe that's enough for you. Maybe you play around and see, can you remove your right hand and still keep that block balanced on your hips? Release your right fingertips back down, take that block off. Whoo! Step your right foot to match your left. Come back to your chair pose, because guess what? We're not sea stars, we only have two sides. From this position in chair pose, shift your weight to your right foot. Step your left foot back. Here's your nice little high lunge here. Let's take that twist. Left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. Nice. Come back up, high lunge. Let's release the hands down. Blocks to that level 1. We're going to come into that revolve skandasana. So start to drop the left heel, come onto the edge of the foot, open it up, twist it, right arm up to the sky. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but my T-bones are tight. Bring it back, runner's lunge. We're going to press to rise. Inhale, come up. I'm going to turn it around so I can face you guys. Yay! Rise back up into that high lunge. Open it up, warrior 2. Reverse. Nice and strong. Try to keep the base right where it's at. Try not to move your legs. Nice. And then we're gonna come back and release down and find that runner's lunge so that we can take our blocks to level 3 to play around with warrior 3. Again, maybe you're just playing around with lifting that back leg. Maybe you start to extend that leg out. Lengthen. Maybe your left finger stay out on the block and you take that right block back up to the hips and check in. Are your hips level? Maybe you start to lift the left fingertips off that block and play around with balancing on one leg. Release the fingers, take the block off your hips if you've got it there. Left foot back down to the mat. Chair pose. Rise up. Awesome. You are doing great. So where do you think we should go from here? We should go down onto the bottom of the mat because we are almost done. We just need to cool down a little. So bring it down to the mat any way you want. I'm not going to torture you with my fun ways of coming down, which were handed down torture methods. So release all the way, and in fact, bring your blocks because we're going to use a quick cool down that I like. Take your feet onto the mat, hands by your sides, and take that block. We'll bring it this way. Take the block in front of you, squeezing your hands into the block, tuck your pelvis, tuck it, squeeze your belly button in, and release. So you're going to slowly come down and resist gravity. Whew, take a nice little stretch, up, over. Take that block, and you're going to take it underneath your hips for a supported bridge. So sliding the block underneath the sacrum. Get all this other stuff. And then walk the heels in. Make sure that your block is not digging into your spine. If you're in pain right now, lift your hips up and move the block around so that it's sitting on that nice little triangular bone at the base of our spine, the sacrum. And then just take a moment. It was a quick 30-minute, energetic. So let your breath come back down. Press into your feet. Let's go ahead and remove that block. Drop your hips down, step your feet wide. Windshield wiper from side to side. "30 minutes is not a lot of time sometimes when you're doing these things. I'm like, whoa, how did I get to be at 27? Bring yourself into happy baby if that is your jam. If you do not like happy baby, please take whatever shape you feel you need to calm yourself down and just let it go And if that is a reclined bound angle, you can bring the bottoms of the feet together, drop those knees apart, let your hands come to your belly and your heart, and just feel yourself release. Let's just take a nice little short spinal twist. So bring the feet up towards your gluteus like you're gonna do the bridge. Lift the hips up, shift them over to the right, drop the knees over to the left. Just let yourself feel that back body stretch and release. And then bring it back to center. Shift the hips over to the left, drop the knees over to the right. Chest is open towards the ceiling. Breathe. And then come back to center with your feet. And when we come into this Shavasana, I'm going to end class on my end, but please feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need to, as long as you want to, as long as you have. But I'd like to close class with gratitude, and my gratitude to you for taking 30 minutes out of your day to join me. It is truly a pleasure and an honor to share space, even virtually with each other. I cannot thank you enough for loving yourself and for moving and connecting. I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy.